Hey guys, looks like we're all set to go and we're going to have a great time. So I'm going to introduce Playful 10 or 1510. He's here with us now and we're going to go ahead and see how he does this wonderful game of Layers of Fear.
Thanks so much. I'm Playful1510, also known as Catman, and I'm going to be running Layers of Fear for you tonight. But before we start, I do need to put something out there. There will be points in this run where I have to move the mouse very quickly side to side. Before those points, I will give you an epilepsy warning, but be aware that there are going to be those points in this run. So with no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start the run. Time starts on first movement. I will give you a countdown. So yeah, I think I will go ahead and introduce Cariatica. He's my couch for tonight. Say hello.
Cariatica, and I've done some routing for Chapter 3 of Layers of Fear, as well as I have discovered how some of the glitches work on the technical side of things.
Awesome. And so we're going to be starting timer in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, so Layers of Fear is actually a pretty interesting game. It's made by Bloober Team, which you may know for the Medium, which is going to be coming out, or for one of their other games, Observer. This game is basically a... excuse me. Wow. Okay. Basically the story of a painter who loses his wife and daughter in a series of unfortunate circumstances. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be grabbing this painting, grab that there and go down. This goes pretty quickly here at first. And what we're going to be doing in here is going to be turning around. The game is not very well optimized. As if you've noticed, there are going to be some hitches, and that's not my computer. That's just the game. It's going to be 854. This is going to be the first bit of RNG in the run. And yeah, this game is pretty fun. It's the first speed game that I ever did. I had performed this for excuse me, door, please, thank you. Performed this for my 12-hour challenge about a month and a half ago. It was pretty cool. I had seen another streamer play it casually and then do a speed run of it. And it seemed pretty simple. Like, I wouldn't say easy, but pretty simple. For the most part, this run is movement. By the way, the first warning is coming up here. Once I go into this room, don't look back until I say. So pretty much what I'm doing here is I am very rapidly swinging the view around. We're trying to hit some look triggers, and we haven't quite worked out where they are. So unfortunately, I just have to sit here and spin until that happens. I stand here, wait for the knife, and go back towards here. Now, the story that I was, like I was saying, was a painter who lost his wife and child. But what I did not mention is that the reason that he lost his wife and child is because of him. He is an alcoholic abuser. And that stems from his undiagnosed schizophrenia, which is mentioned in the game. And what we just picked up just now was a piece of canvas, but it's not actually canvas. It's actually the wife's skin. Now, each time that you go ahead and click on that canvas there, it changes, as you could see. And what we're going to be coming up on here right now is the first elevator of the run. There are 3 within the run, and this is the only one that goes up. The other 2 go down, and in those, I might be able to show off a strat called Fast Elevator. But first, I need to show off our spooky wife. And we're going to be seeing a bit more of her throughout the run, but because we're trying to go fast, we're not going to hit most of the jump scares that she does. And like I was saying, the reason why he sort of lost his the way that his schizophrenia manifests is through seeing rats that don't exist and through notes from his wife that are very negative that she does not actually write. Now, quick strat about this. This staircase is actually faster to go up if you're walking than if you're running, which is something that we found relatively recently, probably within about the last couple weeks. Now we're just going to go straight through here into this next room. And this door is pretty interesting because once you open it, you have to immediately look down because otherwise, nope, we still got hit by it anyway. That happens through normal play. And if you're actually good at the game, unlike me, you can avoid that by just looking down immediately as you open that door. Now, this is Bernie Dog. There's a reason why we call it Bernie Dog, but I'm not going to show that because we're here to save the animals, not have bad things happen. And coming up now is going to be one of my favorite, if you can hear my sarcasm, parts of the run, because if you've noticed up till now, grab distance for doors has been a specific length. This is about half that length. Turn around here, turn back there, and we're good. And now we watch the rat go across. Coming up is going to be another room that contains one of the few glitches in this run, which I had actually found a couple weeks ago. It's called Doormat, and let's see if I can get it. If I do, it invalidates the run, but hey, it's a marathon. We're here for fun. Okay, I did not get it. So it seems to be a frame-perfect trick whereby if you walk into a very specific point on the floor, the door stops dead, and that seems to break the scripting for the door. So what winds up happening is it just doesn't lock, and we're able to walk right back out of here. Which, as you can tell, that saves quite a bit of time. Now, yeah, excuse me. I'm very glad that we got that incentive, though, because it's not just a Luigi thing. It is also me going and exploring the house after the main game is done. And that's actually pretty cool because each of these places that we're picking up a thing, like in this case, it's paint. Like that is the name of the level, paint. I'll tell you, it's not actually paint that we're picking up. This is Grandma's phone, by the way. It's very fun. We spin that, and we do this, and the walls start to melt. You know, that's normal. But yeah, I'm going to be able to show off the house, because this is a room that we're able to explore. We're able to come here and see it. We're able to go into the kitchen normally and see it. And all the other pickup points are actually rendered, or not rendered in the game, but they're actual locations that you're able to visit. And then after that, we get to do spooky, scary story time. But yeah. So as you can tell, that was not actually paint. That was blood, his wife's blood. Because again, this guy is not necessarily the best person in the world. There's kind of a reason why he lost his wife, lost his child. But yeah. So we're going to be coming back in here, going to do that. We're going to let the room change again, and we're going to be moving on through into Undercoat. Now, if you notice, all the names of these splits are painting themed. But one thing I did not mention is that our main character here has super strength, as you can see, and then he also has kicks. There we go. But the one thing that I did not tell you is that he only has one leg. This game is set after World War I. And this is a trick. Pop that, turn around. And he was injured in action and lost his leg. So yeah, he actually only has one leg. But again, super strength. That was when we just sort of threw the door off the hinges there. And yeah, we're going to be we're coming up on a neat little segment here that Kariatica helped sort of route. It's called Loop, and I think I will go ahead and hand it over to him once I walk through that door over there. So if you want to go ahead.
Entering the loop, it works in a rather interesting way. The loop is composed of multiple collision triggers, which are positioned at each candle on top of the drawer. When you pass the trigger, it checks which direction you're going and increases to one of the two internal counters. There are two of these counters, one makes you get stuck in the loop and another makes you exit out of the loop. When one of the counters increases to 2, you get teleported to identical loop or an exit loop. You've just passed the second trigger, and we are now in the exit loop. And here's the exit.
All right, thank you so much. And now what we're going to do is open this door, get spooked, walk through here, hit this button, and just walk right back out of this door. Now, this room is going to seem a little weird because we're going to get stopped, turn around, walk backwards, and then walk forwards again. This is because if we just go straight through, we're going to get knocked down again and lose about 2 seconds. I have timed this out. It is about 2 seconds. But coming up next is going to be the first down elevator of the run, which I'm going to try to show off fast elevator, but I cannot guarantee it, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately, no. Sometimes that happens where the lever goes to the right instead of to the left. It's sort of a double-edged sword trying to do fast elevator. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it just fails terribly like that. So you never know what you're going to get. I had been able to get it relatively consistent. Apparently not right now. So now we're going to be entering into what I like to call rat maze, because you get the nice sound of rats, and it's really tight in here. I light that for a meme that I call light percent, just lighting that light. And then we come into here, pull down this, and walk on through. Coming up next is this corridor. And we're going to go through that door over there, turn around, and keep on going, because we don't have any time to waste. Now, we enter the Wibbly Corridor. I know, great name. I just made it up. And we're going to be entering into the last section of Undercoat. Now, what this is the basement. And we're going to be going over to that piano, smashing on the keys a bit, and then go turn the lights back on, turn that on, and then everything just sort of floats for a while. So while we float, if you have any donations, now's the time to go ahead and put those out.
Do we have any donations at the moment? But if you'd like, I can go ahead and state our mission for our charity.
Go right
Do
ahead.
we have enough time for that? Okay.
Yeah.
So right now, thousands of animals are suffering silently with no chance of ever receiving veterinary care. Like you, we don't think this is fair. Worldwide Veterinary Services provide free expert care to animals in need all over the world. We do this by sending vets where they are needed most, training them to increase the standard of care globally, and by shipping urgent aid supplies worldwide every week of the year. So please donate what you can if you can. If not, we understand, but let's do this for the animals, guys.
For the animals. All right, so now what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to really quickly grab that and start heading back towards the door, and I'll let him explain what exactly he did here.
Then I sawed it off with a handsaw, boiled it, then put the bone in a mortar. I had to get one, obviously. This was not something I'd done before. Finally, I mixed the dust with some white paint. It made for a lovely undercoat.
So if you didn't quite catch that, he cut off one of his wife's limbs, boiled it to remove the flesh, and ground up the bone to put it into some paint. Like I said, not the best of people. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be exiting here. I'm going to try to show off something. Nope, could not get it. Basically, you are able to occasionally hit that from the backside, which is kind of cool. But now we're going to be going into going into brush. Here is, there's our wife. She actually came out today. Sometimes she doesn't like to. But first, we're going to be hitting a split that I call Baby Bonk. You'll see why here in a moment. But we turn around a couple times. There we go. And we're going to say happy birthday to Mr. Bear, because obviously it's his birthday. He has a birthday hat. So happy birthday, Mr. Bear.
Hey,
But
we did
yeah.
get a donation in.
Oh. Go ahead.
Is this okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we have a £5 donation from Zanil. Shout out to Playful for running this awesome game. I know how much he cares about the animals, and I'm so happy to see him be able to showcase this run. The video... and I don't know how to say the rest of that. Boboya Diva.
Okay. Thanks so much. Thanks, because that money goes towards the animals. Now, coming up into this next room here is going to be the second room that has an epilepsy warning. I will let you know when it's safe to look at back. 1002, 1000. This is time-based, so I sort of have to do a counter in my head. So we spin twice, see the dude, look back there, and it's safe to look back. So now pretty much this whole section here is pretty much on rails. It's timed. So not much to do, but I like to just open up all the doors and stuff because it just gives me something to do. We can look at this, but very quickly here we will have the baby race, which is, I find it interesting. And then quickly after that, we will be hitting Baby Bonk, which you'll see why it's called that, and it's very entertaining, at least to me. See, baby race. It's very cool. I have to do a quick setup for a strat here. Put that dot there. 1, 2, 3. Excuse me. There we go. Excuse me. There we go. I've not had that before. Hey, it's the Marathon Creed. And that's why it's called Baby Bonk. I think I was a little bit too far forward, but that's not a problem. Okay, coming up next is what is called Fast Baby. If I get it, the run's cool. If not, well, we're going to be sitting here for a couple minutes, or like about 30 seconds. Okay, I got Medium Fast Baby. Basically, what we want to do is we want to turn our camera all the way to the right as quickly as we can, because that makes the baby kill us faster. And the faster the baby kills us, the faster we can move on. And the screen sort of flickers here. I'm not sure why it has always done this for pretty much every run I've ever seen of this. But there was a reason why I left that door open, and it wasn't just because I was being lazy. Partly that, but partly because we need to leave through that same door, and having it open like that just saves us a little bit of time. And then coming up next is going to be the baby's room, where we're going to have another like minute 45 auto scroller. So if you guys have more donation, now's the time to get them in, because they're probably going to get read. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And yeah, it's a nice spooky area. It seems nice at first, but we're going to very quickly find out that it's not so good. So yeah, if we have another donation, now's the time. Otherwise, I can keep talking.
We don't have any new donations at this time.
Okay, well, there is something kind of interesting about the number of dolls, which, if you've noticed, have shrunk. There are 10 dolls in the sort of main area baby's room, and there is lore behind that. Effectively, the painter, which is the name, the official name of the main character, gave his daughter, which is the daughter, a new doll every time that he yelled at her, which, considering there's 10, that's kind of sad. But yeah, now we get to spin around and look at the kids' painting, or kids' drawing. I guess I can talk about how the wife, more about the wife. The wife was a professional pianist. Now we see Spooky Baby off in the distance. Professional pianist. And she married the painter, as you could tell by the ring. And later on, she was in a department store when it caught fire, and she was one of only a few people who got out okay. But unfortunately, she didn't get out unscathed. She was burned pretty terribly, and it affected her ability to play piano, which led her to be depressed, which led to more things happening, which we can get to when we get to. But with that, we can go ahead and pick up this brush, which is a hairbrush, but it's not a brush for hair. It's a brush made out of hair.
Different.
You can look around the room. It's pretty cool because we got like a mobile right there. Nice. And we're going to go ahead and walk out this door, except we can't quite leave just yet because we have to say hello to Giant Baby with a lip ring, you know, because that's what this game is. This game does have very serious subjects, but it also has very nice moments of levity. So if you notice just there, I did actually get the interaction from the back. And now what we're going to be doing here is entering into the third loop of the game. What you're supposed to do is sort of walk around and around and around and around as stuff changes around you. But we've figured out that you just sort of need to walk back and forth between these doors. So that's what I've been doing this whole time. I wait for the light to start dimming, and then I can come over here, open the door, walk in here. Let me see if I can get this. I did not get it. That's unfortunate. Occasionally there is a glitch whereby there is a rocking baby over in that corner. And what's funny is that once that segment ends, it's rocking one way, but then once the segment ends, it rocks in the completely wrong axis. So now we're going to skip past that because that is a scare from the wife that we don't need. And now we're into touch proper. You'll see why this is called touch, but yeah, this is the second, well, technically third part, bit of RNG of this run. The first is whether or not the doors are open in the intro. The second is the combination for the ring. And the third is this, well, it's going to be a lock that's coming up. We do have a YOLO strat for it, which is rat strat. Basically, you'll see in a second, but we just enter the code for rat, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I'll show you how we do this normally. So what you do would be you come over here, you look at that piece of paper. That looks like rat to me. But because it's a marathon, I'll show this off. Pretty much in casual play, you'd see what thing you have and then trace out all the numbers. That's rat, so that's 687. We can go 687, which is nice because rat is the fastest. So now we continue on through here, and we take a left, except, oh, we can't get through here. That's unfortunate. So, oh, we can't go back either. Oh, man, that sucks. Oh, where do we go? Where do we go? Oh, we go through here. Now, unfortunately, this hallway just always seems to just slow you down no matter what you do, so there's not really any good way around that. And you're slow pretty much all the way up until you enter this next room, like so. And next is going to be the Hall of Doors, because you bunch of doors here. Wow, they actually almost all worked this time. For speedruns, they tend not to actually open, which is kind of strange. But yeah. Now coming up is Big Face. It's one of the really big time skips of the run. Before you'd have to go all the way up there and do stuff, but now we figured out that you can just turn around at that shadow and you can just leave. You know, save you about 45 seconds to a minute. Now, we go around the wheelchair, ignoring it as we did in when our wife was alive. And we move on to the room before chain, and you'll see why I said chain. Don't look back. If you do, you get jump scared. All right, and this is why it's called chain. But yeah, one of the things about this game is it borrows very heavily from the ideas of like PT. So like look-based puzzles, repetition of rooms, also the loudest rat in existence. And you can sort of see that with like, if you've noticed, we've entered the same room a couple times now. Did I get it? I almost got it. So as you can see, that's a little bit faster than if I had to like pull it from the center over. So ideally you'd get it all the way over to the left. I was not. Unfortunate. It's sort of hit or miss.
Do we have a moment for a quick donation?
We do.
Okay, so we got a large donation from Lanza, 50 pounds. Great
Yo,
run
Lanza.
so far, Cat. Save the animals.
Save the animals. Thanks so much. Lenza is our moderator for the game, and he is also the admin for the Discord that we use. Now, if you notice, this room looks very familiar, and that is because this is the room that we had picked up the key from in the beginning. Let me see if I can find it real fast. If not, okay, I'll find it later. Yeah, so now what we're going to do is we're going to pick up these phones because our wife is kind of angry at us. And unlike before, these are set combinations. So this is 363. Next one is going to be 854. But we look up, we look forward, and we continue on. I love that strat. It is great. This next one is going to be 85. If I don't bonk into the door, excuse me, is going to be 853. And then after that, it's going to be 354. So 853. And if you notice, what I'm doing is I'm just pulling straight to that white bar. And that just makes it go really quickly. So, yeah. Now, I want to really try to not die here, because you can die in this game. And if you die, excuse me, come on. There we go. It wastes about half a minute to about a minute. And I don't want to do that. It's my, there we go. Can leave. My estimate is a little bit tight, especially because we have the incentive. But yeah, now that we fall all the way down, we've got a little bit of a concussion because, we fell all the way down. Probably, 100 stories or whatever it is. But that phone is being real insistent. We should probably pick it up. Cost of our own health. Oh, well, our wife is still pretty mad at us. But we can actually still do this while I'm waiting. So there's all of the medals. But because we have a concussion now, the phone melts. And because we've been a little bit slow, the game gives us the finger.
I needed something to add the...
Yes, I am proud of that pun. No, I'm not going to apologize for it. And now that's pretty much the end of phone. The end of touch.
Chopped it off.
After this, we're going to go touch the canvas again and then move on
Fell
to
asleep.
Witness,
Almost
which is
burned
going to be
it.
the last section of the game.
Well, I managed
This
to
game is
pull
pretty
this off.
quick, which is really nice, especially for like a beginning speedrunning. And that's one of the things was, like I had said in the beginning, this was my 12-hour challenge. I had never like done a speedrun before this, and I had actually never played this game before I sped run it. All I had done was just seen somebody else play it. And like I went from 40th place to like 8th place in 12 hours. So like if I'm able to do that, like if you're thinking at all about speedrunning, this is the game to do it on. So now coming up is going to be a very loud portion of the game. So Tech is going to need to bring the sound down on this. I'll let you know exactly when, but pretty much you're going to be turning it back up once I get to the end of the hallway and turn around. So go ahead and bring the sound down. All right, welcome back. And with that growl, we know that we hit the trigger properly, and now we get to go and leave. Now, Witness is broken up into sort of two sections, Witness 1 and Witness 2. And that's because, one, it's fairly long, but it's also because there's sort of like a tonal shift partway through. And you're going to be seeing that pretty soon here. But first, my favorite room of the game. I just like how vibrant this is. Look at this. Look at all that. It's so pretty. Now we drop through here, and we listen to another growl as we walk through these doors, because we don't want to be near that. And walk through another door, go down these stairs. And this has I've definitely never bonked into this door before. Definitely not like I stopped right there because I've bonked into it a billion times. But coming up is going to be one of my other favorite parts of the run. This is going to be the Luigi board. Not the Luigi board for the incentive, mind, but this is going to be the Luigi board that we see in the run. So, hi, Luigi board. Goodbye, Luigi board. We leave it behind because we have faster things to take care of. Coming up is going to be what I like to call Infirmary, where it's just sort of everything here is kind of melty and gross looking, whereas this is going to be nice and bright and pristine looking. So it just sort of reminds me of Infirmary. So coming up in 2 rooms, I'm going to, our character, I should say, is going to be dunking his head underwater for quite a while. So if that is triggering, I'm letting you know now to look away for a bit. I will let you know when it's safe to look back. And this is pretty much another like minute and a half-ish like auto scroller. I'm just holding the mouse down. So if we have donations, now's the time.
I don't have any new donations at this time.
All right, well, come on, folks. Pony up some cash. The animals want and need your help. But yeah, pretty much right now what we're doing is we're just dunking our head under the water, and we're just sort of seeing the main themes that we've seen before. The wife, well, I guess this is like piano. I'm actually not quite sure what this one represents, but the next one's going to be baby. But backstory about the bathroom that we are in, it is the bathroom where the wife committed suicide. She was, it seems to be that she was sick of the neglect from her husband as his mental illness worsened. Now, one thing about this baby is it's not actually like painting, it's just rotating its wrist, which I find to be a little bit funny. But yeah, with that, I can release the button. Now, had I released the button at any point before that, it would reset that portion of the head dunk, and I'd have to do it again, and that during normal play would be absolutely a reset. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be picking up the last piece of our wife. And if you've guessed why it's called Witness, and if you've made the joke, "Witness me" from Mad Max, well, you're not actually all that far off. Not necessarily about the Mad Max portion, but like that pun is correct because we are picking up our wife's eyeball. And hence, yeah, he wants a witness for his art. So now what we can do is we can sit here, look at ourselves in the mirror, sort of do some sick dance moves, or turn the water on because our main character does not deserve a low water bill. And look at those six sideburns. Look at that. Now, had my tech issues not happened, you'd be able to see me wearing a costume very similar to that. Unfortunately, it's not working. But now we're entering Witness 2. And as you can see, it's very tonally different. It's going to be pretty much one room over and over and over and over again instead of walking through multiple rooms. So now we're just going to do this. Hope the hope the camera doesn't start spinning too badly. Activate the checkers board. It's still spinning a little bit, but that's okay. We've sort of figured out that it spins sometimes when an object spawns in you. There we go. What I'm doing is I'm picking up extra checkers pieces. If a piece or something spawns in you, it will actually cause you to just start spinning violently sometimes. So I move in front of this to activate the next portion, and now we have little, I think these are brushes? Yeah, brushes and other things just popping out of here. And then we'll see a checkers piece pop up there, and occasionally you'll have something land underneath it. I'm saying with air quotes. Pick that up, and we head back to the board, but we're not going to the board yet. We're going to this heart, which I will look away from because it could possibly be not great for people with photosensitivity. We look at that, we find that, and now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be moving in front of, come on, there we go, in front of that staircase. Pick this up, we pick that up, and what moving in front of that staircase does is it allows us to get that piece that we had gotten up on the bookshelf early. Normally you'd have to go up those stairs, which is slow. I think it's about 4 seconds slow. We grab the weight there. We grab the last checkers piece and we go over here. Now coming up is going to be the point where the run effectively goes onto rails. There's not going to be a whole lot of time to make up here. We look at Babyface, we go back here, activate that, and look back there. From here on out, there's pretty much no time to be made. So yeah, since I have a little bit of time here, I just want to thank Thunderthon for hosting this event. I wanted to thank Carrie Attica for agreeing to be my couch, just sort of listening to me ramble. I wanted to thank Lines and Ukmaru. They are the current world record holders. I wanted to thank speedrunners everywhere because you guys are awesome. And we get to look at the final painting here. Now, there could be a possible glitch here.
Yes.
Nope, we didn't get it. Sometimes there's no sound. But yeah, basically, he's going to talk about this. I also wanted to thanks, last but not least, but to World Veterinary Services. You guys are awesome. I love what you guys are doing. And I'm very glad that they're the people that we're going to be raising money for.
I don't understand.
While I have a little bit of time here, and since I'm thinking about it, we do have a Discord that's linked on the Layers of Fear speedrun.com page. And yeah, I will wait a little bit later for something else. But yeah, pretty much from here, or excuse me, one of the nice things about this game is that thematically, the fastest route, the speedrun route, is the one that matches thematically. So effectively what we're doing here is we are going to be throwing our painting into a room. And the door may stick, may break, if not. But even if it doesn't, okay, it didn't. I want you to look down into the lower left portion of your screen, and there's just thumb there. But yeah, so as you can see, this guy's attempted this many times and failed each time. Now, since this is a marathon, I will go ahead and do the slower thing and actually show you this room. Normally what we do would be, we would hold left here because we actually do have movement. But if you look, all of these actually look normal. They actually look decent. But yeah, if we were to go fast, we would have held left. We come back in here, we grab the keys. The game lags because, again, as I said, it is not very well optimized. And we avoid the banister because the banister makes us spin really, really quickly. Time is going to be coming up on last movement once the sound sounds for the painting. Look at that, pull that down, and time. Awesome. All right. If we have any more donations, that'd be awesome. Otherwise, I will move on to the incentive.
No new donations at the moment, and GG on that. That was most excellent to watch.
Thank you. All right. So since we did manage to get the incentive, I will go ahead and show this off. So pretty much, you can see lots of paintings in the actual house, just to start off with. But if these are all like public domain, which is why they're here. But if you notice, that's there. That's part of the Halloween event. which since we're so close, I was able to change my clock of my computer, so we're able to see it. So this is an article saying exactly how good the artist used to be, or the painter used to be. This here is a note from Carl Denton of Pesky Pests Pacification Company, basically saying, hey, stop bad-mouthing us to our clients because otherwise we'll sue you. You don't have rats. We've been there multiple times. Now, this is the collar of Popeil, also known as Bernie Dog. But we can move into the kitchen here, and it looks pretty much the same as what it was when we were in here last. Game likes to lag in here for whatever reason. And if you were wondering what's in this room normally, it's just a pantry. It's just a pantry. Now, if I tried to go in there during the run itself, it'd be bricked off. So now what we see here is a nice little shopping list for paint, brushes, air fresheners, apples, and a lot of booze. I mentioned he is an alcoholic. This is a note from the wife basically saying, hey, take some time off. I love you. Please, don't be too hard on yourself. Now we come into here. The water's already on, but we turn it on again. And right here is a invoice for a below-knee prosthetic. How the heck did they mess it up? And apparently he's not too happy about that. Now coming in here is a room that we don't actually go into normally. It's a little offshoot here, but you can actually see here how paranoid he is about rats. For instance, excuse me, there we go. Little Vinny and Partners, more rat things. A nice little rat trap, and if you go over here, you can set them all off, which is fun. Now, we get to go upstairs, which is another fun portion of the run, and show off a couple of the other points. Because like I said during the run, you can find all of the points where you pick stuff up in the main area. Here's some sheet music. You can play on the piano until it goes, I don't want you to play anymore. There we go. We can look at this note, which is basically the painter saying, hey, I worked late, don't wake me up. We can listen to this sick jam. We can open this to see how good the wife was at being a pianist. There's more to performing music. He regards those words. Mixture of awe and embarrassment. Here is the article for the department store fire. And if you notice, here is the wife's broken mirror, which sort of just reminds you how sort of tragic this story is. It really is. Sorry, I couldn't sleep. And we can open this to see a bunch of booze bottles and it's a very tragic story. It is, because through no fault of their own, terrible things happen to them. And now we can sort of look at this jam on the floor, try to open this door. Fine, we can't do that. I've checked in prologue and epilogue, neither of which you can actually do that. We can come in, either which we can open it. We can come in here, look at this, grab the key, but we don't need it. Look at this. Liam Brickstone from Whispered Tale Publishing House, basically saying, hey, yeah, we commissioned you to do some stuff for Little Red Riding Hood, and what you gave us, not good. But I mean, so far it doesn't look bad, right? Oh, I mean, it couldn't get worse, right? Couldn't get worse. This is for a children's book, right? Oh. So yeah, basically he was saying that this is not at all what we commissioned you for. You're lucky you're getting paid. We get to look at Spooky Ball as it bounces down, and we get to see the 10 dolls that I had mentioned previously. Now we can come over here, take a look at this rattle, and we can take a look at this soldier doll action figure. I don't know what you want to call it, which is thematically apt because the father was a soldier. Here's an actually not bad drawing from the daughter, which, or at least not bad for me. It's almost as good as how I can draw, which is not well. So now with that, we've checked out all of upstairs, and we can head downstairs into the basement, which you can check out real quick. But because it is so close to Halloween, and because I set my time clock forwards, I am going to be able to show you something that you normally can't see. There goes a rat that doesn't exist. And here comes another rat that doesn't exist. We get to look at the daughter's report card. And as you can see, she's doing okay in reading, not great in written communication, okay in math, not great in science, but she's doing awesome in art and music. Almost like when your parents push you to do only those things to the exclusion of everything else. You get really good at those and nothing else. Now, normally, this door is closed and locked, but because it's so close to Halloween, we can open this. And I can read you a spooky Halloween's tale. Come, little darlings, and hear the tale of three curious children, Bobby, Sue, and Gail. Down into the basement on a dark, stormy day our three little rascals chanced for to stray. Engulfed in darkness as deep as the night, they spotted a light that shone warm and bright. What is that? Asked Gale, our gangling young fave. Stay here, I'll go see, cried Bobby the brave. But while the two boys prepared to draw straws, Sue approached the light, silly as she was, and all of a sudden the whole room was drowned in warm yellow light. They all gathered round. And then Gale exhaled, it's a spirit board. Come, let's try it out. What could possibly go wrong? As Sue touched the board, a spirit appeared. Come, hello, my darlings, come, have no fear. Whatever you wish, I shall make it true. Better choose wisely, better think it through. I know, shouted Sue, never one to stall. Make me as pretty as a porcelain doll. When the screams died down, Susan was no more, but there sure was porcelain among the blood and gore. Then our young friend Gale decided to flee, a reasonable choice, you have to agree. The basement window was his escape route. I can't quite get through, how I wish I could. As you wish, my boy. Well, feast your eyes. Our rat friends have managed to cut you down to size. And as for Bobby, he no longer so bold. Look at him shaking. It's not even cold. Better make a wish, the spirit exclaimed. Make it a good one. This is not a game. Come on, make a wish. It's all down to you. I wish, the boy cried. All this wasn't true. Now, if you notice, there are some words with smudges on them. And those actually go ahead and bring us through to this portion where we can enter those. So first off, we can enter in porcelain. Now, I had gone ahead and found all of these just for the sake of the story, porcelain. There we go. And we can go through here. But normally what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to find these as you read those. And spooky baby doll. I guess that's Sue. Open this, grab this. And unfortunately, even though I picked these up before, I can't leave until I do that. So with that, we can move on to the next one. Open the door. And the next one is going to be Escape, where we get to see how good old Gale fared. Oh, yes. Now, while we wait for that, we can go ahead and pick up the next couple of pages. Watch all the rats go streaming past, and yes, not quite Gale, but as you can tell, the story might have a little bit more truth to it than we might want to believe. And then last off, we get Game, which for me is actually one of the few ones that actually is a little bit spooky. But yeah, so now we go into here. We get to listen to this baby cry, look at it. And we get to open the light. And there's the spirit, ready and waiting. Now we can go over here, pick up this, we can leave. I just find it a little bit spooky because I don't like hearing laughing behind me. And with that, that's the end of the sort of main story portion, but assuming I have a little bit more time, I can show off a couple of neat little Easter eggs. So I can put in deer, and it's a nice little Evil Dead reference. Give it a second. Awesome. Next up, we can see Popeil and put in dog. And there's Popeil. What's up, Popo? How's it going? Popo, why are you just sort of gliding across the floor? Next up, we can do 666. And it's Mr. Bear, but he's a little bit more fiery and has a hammer and has horns, for whatever reason. Next up, Halloween, because it's very spooky. All right, it's a pumpkin. And then to end this off, I'm going to head and put in wife. And yeah, we get to see the wife over there. And with that, that is the end of the incentive. Thanks again to Thunderthon for having us here. Kariatica, if you want to plug yourself, go ahead.
I sometimes upload videos on YouTube about different strats and different games. I also sometimes stream, but not as often. You can find me on Discord, Kariatica5862, and I will always be in Layers of Fear Discord. Thank you, Thunderthon, for having me and Playful today.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I also have a Discord or a Twitter. It is Playful1510 or Twitter.tv, Twitch. Oh my goodness, Twitch.tv. Wow. /Playful1510. I also do have a Twitter. It is on there. It is also Playful1510. So yeah, thanks so much. and have a very, very spooky Halloween.
And thank you for running for us here today. And that was very spooky and very entertaining. Enjoyed watching that immensely.